So a while back, Konami announced a new structure deck, Pendulum Evolution, a structure deck that would be a sequel to last year's Master of Pendulum, the structure deck that gave us the super cool Magician Pendulum deck that was then basically lost all its luster thanks to a Tier 0 format that resulted in an emergency ban list that had us all going, ah man, that screwed everything up. Well, I'm sure Konami will never let a Tier 0 format happen again. Crap. Anyways, this new structure deck would give support to the Magicians, a very fun archetype that we all know I love. And I was really looking forward to this structure deck. Why? Because it's a lot of fun. If you ever get a chance, try this deck out online. Okay, it's not Zodiac or even Metal Foe's level of super powerful, but it is super fun. There's a lot of great combos, there's a lot of cool cards you can use, and it lets you do a lot of fun plays. So I, like a lot of other people, was really excited. But I was starting to get worried because we didn't hear anything about a release date. Especially because this structure deck is to work with stuff in Maximum Crisis, so one would assume it would come out a little bit before that, as it does in the OCG. Well, then we got our announcements of our spring structure decks. We'll be getting the Ancient Gear and the Dinosaur one on April 16th. Why, you may be wondering? Well, I personally think, and I'm sure a lot of people think this too, they want those decks out before the Lynx! See what I did there? It's an actual picture of a real Lynx, the jungle cat. Okay, moving on. Anyways, they want this stuff to be able to be fully functional and at full power while it is able to be used as intended, because once the links come out, it'll all change. But that also leads to the question, where's the Pendulum Evolutions? They would have the same issue. Well, we got our answer, people, and it ain't a good one. Instead of getting a $10 structure deck, we will be getting a booster set similar to Fusion Enforcers, where you can spend $65 on a box to buy a deck that was never going to be Tier 1. Okay, so a lot of people are thinking, why did I wait so long to cover this? This came out last Thursday. Well, there's a reason for that, and that is that, well, part of it is I was busy that day, so I didn't get a chance to do the video, but I was noticing a lot of other people covering it, so I'm like, it's old news, what do I have to add to this? But I realized something. Everyone was missing the point. They were missing what is to me the single most glaring negative thing to come out of this release. Everyone missed it. I'm not trying to discredit anyone, I'm just saying, from what I can tell, I'm the only one who seems to notice, and that is, who is going to buy this? Who was this made for? Now, a lot of people have pointed out the obvious things, that this is a real scumbag move on Konami to take a deck people were somewhat excited about, put it at the least most relevant time to release it, turn it into a set only a month before you make the stuff in this set more or less nerfed. That is really horrible, and it's douchey, and it shows how greedy and cash grab based Konami is. This is all true, but the thing is that not only is it all those horrible things, this was a stupid idea in general. Who's going to buy this? Like, let's think about this for a minute. From a competitive player's standpoint, who make up the majority of the buying in the Yu-Gi-Oh! World, and I'm not saying there isn't something to be said for the casual fans, we'll get to you guys, but let's be real here. Raging Tempest isn't one of the most expensive box in a long time because of freaking Brave Eyes Pendulum Dragon. The thing is that, to a competitive player, there's really no reason to buy anything in here. Pendulums really aren't relevant right now thanks to the zoos, unless they decide to reprint all the Metal Foes in it. But the thing is that around the time of June, our Nationals is going to be happening. It'll probably be a little bit later, maybe a little bit before, but the reality is that no competitive player who's getting ready for Nats is going to want to invest in a lackluster deck when they can probably just still play Zodiacs or whatever the top tier thing is at the time. No one's going to want to do something new when you have the biggest tournament in our hemisphere of the year right around the corner. And on top of that, there's really no reason to invest in it afterwards because, like I said, once the links come out, there's really no need for this thing. I mean, again, Pendulum will still be good in link format as it can help you get a good first turn board. It can help you get out to your options really quickly to start going off. It will still be very good. But this deck will not really make or break anything. Like, that is the reality of it. So now you've alienated the competitive audience. There's just no reason for them to invest in this. On top of that, most people who, when they're getting ready for nationals, they don't buy boxes, they just buy the single card from the vendors. The vendors may invest in boxes, but again, to make this the huge sellout Raging Tempest is, you need a hook to really get people into playing, and I can't see anything coming out in this that will really hook anyone so close to such a huge tournament. Then we move on to the kids market. I'll save casuals for a little later. Kids don't care. For those of you who don't know, the anime is currently 45 episodes behind. That is very shameful compared to every other anime dub, especially now that Funimation wants to start simulcasting all subs and dubs. But this also means kids really aren't invested in what's currently in the game for them to get based on the show. They don't know who Odd Eye's Raging Dragon is. They know nothing about Zark. They don't know anything about Astrograph Sorcerer. Hell, we don't really know anything about Astrograph Sorcerer. Which means when this stuff comes out, they're not going to beg mommy and daddy to buy it for them. On top of that, with how much 4Kids re-airs the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Over and over again, I don't even think kids know anything about Odd Eyes. Like, that is a huge problem, and that is that this is a children's card game with no effort put on making it for children. Like, that is a huge problem that deserves a video on itself, but it really is a big issue here because, again, who are you going to sell this to? Okay, casuals. Fans of the anime who aren't super competitive, so they'll just want the stuff to complete the collections. They're probably going to reprint all the shitty Perform Pals as supers. You can get the magicians and all this stuff. Well, and look, again, I am a competitive player. I really can't speak for everyone. But if you're a casual player, by June 23rd, are you going to even want to deal with this shit? Like, is it really even going to be worth it? By that point, Arc 5 will have been over and everything relevant will be out. Is it really worth it? And that's really the question I'm asking here. Is any of it worth it? I could understand buying boxes of Raging Tempest. I can understand investing in Fusion Enforcers. But what's here? What is there to do? And what really disturbs me is, why didn't anyone at Konami ask this question? Who made this decision? Like, why make it into a set? If someone was like, we can make a lot of money on it, okay. But then did anyone go, why would we make a lot of money off of this? Like, there's nothing here for people to buy. That's the problem. You're not just making it harder on the players, you're making it harder for yourself. Before you could just make a bunch of structure decks, no problem. Now you gotta make box after box and card after card. Like, the thing is that this will fail. There's no one to buy it, there's no market for it, and that is really what my biggest problem here is, that there seems to be no real direction at Konami. They're just spinning their wheels, hoping for success to come out of nowhere. But what do you think? In the comment section below, give me your thoughts on this question, because there is no real easy answer here. Do you think this was a cash grab? Do you have a logical reason? And as always, click to like and click to subscribe, so maybe we can see if Konami makes a redeeming decision.